so I can record. All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay, can you guys see my screen again? Perfect. So welcome to Women in Power, part 2 of the discussion, where I just want to spend a couple minutes just talking about women and the underrepresented. So think LGBTQ or different other minority groups in real estate, yes, but just in general, you know, trying to find opportunities to network, grow business, start businesses, and just learn a bit more about how to become, you know, financially stable and start to grow wealth. And I know there's different avenues. For me in particular, one of the avenues that I decided to use is real estate and investments. So again, my name is Prina Khan. I'm a licensed New Jersey realtor, and my company is Susanna Ventures Real Estate. And tonight I have Juanita Dreyer, who should be joining shortly, Elise Hodges, and Victoria Petch. Did I say that correctly? Perfect. All right, so let's get right in. So as I mentioned, I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the underrepresented in real estate and business and investments. And we know just at a high level from a real estate perspective, you know, you want to invest or buy a home, the first thing you're going to do is reach out, find an agent. They're going to walk you through the process, and that's great. For folks who want to invest, that's a whole different animal. It's trying to understand, you know, wholesale buying versus retail buying, and all the formulas that are out there, networks where there are people, hard money lenders is what we refer to them as. The thing is, those networks are far and few between for women in general. I know for a fact because I've been trying to get into investment myself. It's really dominated by men or people that already come from wealth. And if you're not in the circle, how do you get into those circles? How do you, you know, educate yourself or, you know, just become aware of who those groups are? You guys see the next slide? Okay, so this is just a, again, quick introduction so you guys can see our faces, who we are tonight presenting. And then, as I mentioned, you know, the agenda tonight will really be, you know, what, who, and why. These are the questions that I want to talk a little bit about towards the end in terms of closing the gaps, what those solutions look like. And then I'll give my co-hosts about 5 to 7 minutes just to kind of go through their businesses and tell us a little bit more about what you guys do and maybe what some of your goals are and potential opportunities to network moving further. And then we'll have some time just for closing remarks and maybe Q&A if anyone has questions. So 30%, I always like to start my presentations out with a number. I feel like that will definitely get folks' attention. So when we think about real estate investing, it turns out that women in particular only represent 30% compared to 64.5% of men when you think about real estate investors. So that's a huge disparity. You know, it's 2 to 1 in the very least. But what's interesting is when you look at the percentage of women who are considered head of household, we've seen an increase by about 25% over the last 30 years, from about 17 to 22.5. So if we're seeing, you know, that kind of growth, why again is it that we only have, you know, a third of the investors' population that are women or some other underrepresented group? And then one interesting fact that I read in an article recently is when we look at the LGBTQ community, 49% consider themselves or would describe themselves as homeowners compared to men at 64%. So just some interesting numbers to throw out there. And again, the question really is, you know, why? Is it educational? Is it financial? Is it lack of, you know, networking? Is it finances? Is it financial planning? What are the reasons for, again, the disparity that we see there? So when we think about the solutions, definitely education, right? Not everyone has time to go out and get their real estate license. It's expensive, it's time consuming, and there's a lot of work behind it. And so, you know, if you're buying your home, then you go to an agent. But again, if you're looking to invest or you want to do research on your own, if you're not familiar or know the tools that are out there, how do you educate yourself? And then funds. Money is probably at the top of everyone's minds, right? So, aside from taking care of your family and, monthly expenses, if you're looking to, build for your future, for your retirement, how do you manage all of those things accordingly? And then support. When I think about some of the folks that I've met in the past year with COVID, things have become very much a virtual, scenario. So Zoom meetings, Facebook groups, chats. And what I've found is there's been an increase in terms of support, especially with women. And I love that. Whether it's in my day job or my real estate business or just, online, I am always an advocate for supporting and networking and seeing someone else succeed. So sessions like this, if you guys know me, my presence on social media, I'm always happy to put someone else forward. And I really think that's a big part of it. So I was working with a career coach or a life coach earlier in 2021, sorry. And one of the things she said to me, and it made complete sense, is, as you think about your life in the last 2 decades, think about the network of friends that you've had around you. You want people that are interested in the same things that you are. You want someone that, for an example, I was looking to start doing investing on my own outside of a 401k and understanding how to navigate the stock market. And it was pretty scary. I had gifted myself $300 and said I would use that money to, buy a few shares and figure out how it works. I started working with a woman a couple of years ago who was probably 5 years ahead of me. She'd already done it a few times. She'd made money. I didn't know where to start. And so we'd go and take these walks for coffee at work. And she literally in that 5 or 10 minutes would educate me. Where should I be investing? How do I invest? Which platform is best? Should I go with, one of the big brands? Should I go with an E-Trade who's strictly online? And it made so much sense. So when we think about support, it's definitely important that we're surrounding ourselves with the right people with the same interests that are willing to support and lift us, right? Because not everyone's going to be on the same, level at all times of their lives. So you want people that are happy to see you succeed, happy to support. And I truly believe that, that is part of it. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or questions on that. But if not, we can go on and move into some of the introductions. So I know Juanita is still having some trouble, so we can come back to her slides in just a bit. So Elise, if you want to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about Ash Realty Services.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Good evening. So yes, my name is Elise Hodges, and I'm a licensed Jersey Realtor also with Prina at Exit Platinum Realty. And a little bit about Ash Realty Services. It's very new, maybe 3 years. And this year flyer, one of the things that I do on an annual basis is I host a vision board party. So that's what this flyer is for. And it's really just to kind of empower women, not saying men are not included or not invited, because they certainly are. However, they never seem to, be interested in attending. So it's normally women. So that's why I say women empowerment. But this will be the third event. I did the first one in 2017, and it was really just more so friends and family, very intimate, close-knit event. And it was me really putting my feet out there and just getting comfortable with just doing something that I just enjoyed doing just for myself. And then I did the second one last year. Well, the second one was actually this year, the beginning of right before COVID. I keep wanting to say last year, but it was actually the beginning of March, right before COVID. So literally, I believe it might have been like March 12th or 13th. And then the following week, we were shut down. So that was the second event. And I spread out, I spread myself out a little bit more, extending the invitation to, some friends of friends and things like that. Maybe a few people that I didn't necessarily know, but I kind of opened it up a little bit more because I felt more confident and more comfortable. And it was a really good turnout and everything. And again, it's something that I personally just love doing for myself and for my circle of friends. And it was like, why not, spread the love? Why not share this information? Because a lot of my friends were like, what is a vision board? That was the first question for a lot of them. What is a vision board? And, some people felt like, oh, this is just some arts and craft, like they took it kind of light. And I'm like, no, it's a real thing, and I had to kind of convince that, not necessarily convince them, but I had to kind of get in detail with it and like Google some things and talk to other people that really knew and were familiar with what an actual vision board was. And then they got it. And so, I just took a step and said, after getting a few inquiries about, are you going to have another one? And will you do it virtually? And what about COVID? And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go for it. We've opened back up a little bit more. People are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. Why not? So it'll be January 9th. The ticket information is listed below. And it's really about putting your goals into motion, putting it on a board, something that you can actually visualize and pay attention to. Some people need to see it, not just think about it, but to physically put it somewhere, write it down, and let it resonate and keep moving forward with it. And so that's what it's really all about. It's a lot more to it and it's a lot more involved in the event, but that's the basic uh, idea of what it's all about. So I'm really excited and looking forward. So hopefully, ladies, you will be interested in attending. And then overall, I'm a realtor, so I'm out here in the hustle, like Prina, with our clients and everything. So, and I'm always excited to help and, be a support system and just do whatever it is that I can as a woman, because it's a male dominated, culture when it comes to investing. And a lot of times we as women, we just don't have the time. So that's also another thing. It's maybe resources, yes, maybe the fact that we're not as confident, because it can be a little intimidating, out there with a bunch of men talking about investing and things like that. But also we may be the one at home taking care of the family and things like that. So we may not just have the time to put into it, because it does take a lot of time. So, however, I'm able to help and partner and network with other women to share ideas and figure out ways that we could maybe come together and do some things. I'm always in for that. So I appreciate the opportunity tonight.
Thanks, Elise. Just
You're
curious.
welcome.
So what types of vendors or participants do you expect at your vision board event? Is it real estate focused? Are there going to be other types of entrepreneurial, interests there?
Well, what I did was I wanted to open it up to some younger entrepreneurs. Two of them are women in particular, and I specifically geared it to them because they are fairly new in their business, but they're young. That's really what it was. They're still in their 20s, but they have successful businesses so far. I mean, I think one young lady, she does like skincare and press on nails, and she's a millennial, so that's the thing right now. But I'm not familiar with a lot of it, but it's something that I know the millennials are. So it's like, what better way for me to pay it forward than to say I have an opportunity, and give it to her. So she's doing the skincare and those type of things. And then I have another young lady also in her 20s, and she has a business with like shea butters and socks and natural products and things like that. So those are two of the vendors that I have so far. I don't want to give away all the goodies, but I have another young gentleman who is also going to be participating. So he will be the one gentleman there, and he has his own business. It's a new business, maybe a year in, and yeah, I'm not going to say exactly what it is.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's something new. It's something that has newly come to Jersey. I'll say that much. And a lot of people are really into it, and I was pretty surprised. But yeah, so I'm looking to have at least two more vendors to kind of spread it out. But I did gear myself towards the younger Not to say I'm, restricting anything for age, but I love giving opportunities when I see young people out there, putting their hustle forward and trying to make it for themselves. When I was in my 20s, I wasn't necessarily thinking about my own business,
Right.
but it's really exciting when I see the younger generation doing such an awesome job, because they're going to pave the way for us at some point. They're going to be the future. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, thank you for that. And it's kind of a perfect segue into our next speaker. So it's interesting, you talk about millennials and all the skincare. I think the other thing with COVID has also given us the opportunity, well, for those that can, is to really take a step back and think a little bit about self-care. And ways to do that. And a year ago or a year plus ago, we were looking at ways to do that from home. So I think, there were a lot of creative people, younger people that, had the mindset to just kind of go out there, take advantage of social media and grow these businesses, right? And so I think that with everything, whether you're starting a business or looking to invest, or you're a realtor, you have a full-time job, or you have 3 jobs, or you're at-home mom, whatever your role day-to-day is, I think it is important to, whatever it is you're doing, take out, the time to really, take care of yourself, take a minute, breathe. If it's 5 minutes a day, if it's 10 minutes meditation a day, if it's, giving yourself a facial once a month, whatever that might look like. And so our next presenter can tell us a whole lot more about self-care and kind of, what we could be doing. So Victoria, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say to both of you, I'm all about the law of association. So who I surround myself with, and I love hanging out with other entrepreneurs and other women that are just positive, and you both were saying, the hustle, and we all have, families or multiple jobs. And for us to just keep showing up for our dreams and taking care of ourselves, it's very, very nice. I just want to say thank you for inviting me on this call, and totally blessed to be surrounded by both of you amazing women. And I'm really excited to be on this call because I have such a huge passion. Mm-hmm. And I'm 26 years old. I'm a elementary school teacher, but that's my profession. But my passion is really helping women shine and glow and be positive from the inside and out. It's so easy nowadays with social media and just looking around us all the time, how easy it is to fall in the comparison method of, this person looks better or this one's more successful. And I really try to empower others to really be healthy from the inside. And that will really spark and really embody that radiant glow from the outside. So 3.5 years ago, that was when I aligned myself with a brand called Arbonne, which is out in Irvine, California. And I'm doing this with my twin sister. So we absolutely have a blast. We have been doing this. My twin sister actually does it full time now. She has the privilege of doing it full time. And I just love teaching, so I can't leave my job just yet. But tonight, I really want to talk about just how important it is to be confident in our bodies. And I can talk about skincare and gut health, but what Arbonne really is all about mind, body, and skin. So it's great if you have a great looking body or a great looking skin, but we have to be mind strong first. And especially women in business, or like you were saying, in real estate, we are competing with men who might have higher energy or who might seem they have it all, or just come through a room and they're just so much more confident. So for Arbonne to really have that approach as a company where they promote mental health first and being confident in your own mind before you are body and skin is huge, especially in 2021. So we have products that we have over 400 consumable products that stem over skincare, mind health, nutrition, and they're all vegan, plant-based, cruelty-free. We actually are one of the top health and wellness businesses in the world because of how sustainable our practices are. So everything is recyclable. Everything's from recycled ink. Everything, we're actually a B Corp. So we have that legal obligation of putting people and planet before profit. And for myself, being a farmer's daughter who's grown up on an apple orchard, and I've seen my dad just how important it is for the environment to be great for his apples, and seeing how hard he's been working shows me just how much companies need to embody that kind of momentum of putting people first with their ingredient policy, of course, because some companies don't do the best when it comes to ingredient, or just try to make an extra buck at the end of the day, and they don't care about delivery pollution or their carbon footprint. So for Arbonne to really be a carbon neutral shipping company, to go out there and say, you know what, before we make $1, we have to make sure that we're putting people and planet first. And that's probably why I'm so shining right now and so happy, because I've aligned with a brand that really cares about who we are, and I'm just so grateful. And I want to talk to you first a little bit about the skincare line. So that is the slide that you see on the Zoom tonight. So it's about our Age Well line, and especially women as entrepreneurs, it is so important, because people don't buy our product at the end of the day. They don't buy the house at the end of the day because it's a nice house, but they buy us. They buy who we are. They buy who our story is. They buy how we show up for them, good customer service. And I always say that if you are glowing, and you have an amazing personality and amazing energy around you, they have to say yes. So I always say, it's super interesting to invest, or it's super important, not interesting, important to invest not only in yourself or real estate, or you were saying, crypto or finances or stock markets, but it's also important to invest in your self-care and your skincare and your body lotions, because everything is going to show how we age or our mood later in life. So some people are like, oh, I don't have time for skincare, I have beautiful skin. And then when it reaches that age and they're like, wait, how is this girl, how does she not have wrinkles, but I do? And it's all about what that person did 10, 15 years ago. So our Age Well line focuses on 3 key ingredients that fosters bakuchiol, plant stem cells, and vitamin C. And those are all properties that help glow, radiant, and bring collagen back to our face. So if you have ever thought of thinking of a skincare line or more cleaner, safer beauty products like clean mascara, CC creams, I'm definitely that girl who would love to take care of you. And if anyone has any questions, I would love to share my routine, or if I could help any of your problems or something that you would like to reach and be better in 2022, I would love to give you my personal discount to shop on my store. So that's my personal 35% discount, because I don't do this for the money. I really do this. I think it's really important for women to just show up. We're so much better than men. So I just want us to all show up just glowing and as our happy self. So again, I want to take this time. Thank you so much for inviting me on this call. And yeah, what you're doing is just totally amazing.
Thank you so much, Victoria. That's amazing. It's interesting. I've been chatting with Suzanne. So Suzanne and I have been friends since 2006 or 7. And I'm just finding out tonight that she uses Arbonne. Did not know that. For 8 years. Suzanne, if you want to unmute yourself and join in, I'm sure
Yes.
we would love to hear about this.
Yes, since I joined in my company IBI, there was like a representative there, and she actually introduced me to the product and the way I like that product, because it just does not use any animal in it, and it's all natural and organic stuff. So I've been using the R9 for a really long time. And now I think they introduced the Age Well product, and I got the whole line, like the whole 5 set, like for the morning, for the evening. And it's just amazing. I use the CC cream, I use the mascara. It just, it's just the product for me. It's just very, very good, and little bit pricey, but it's good, and it lasts for a really long time. So I'm glad that, I'm using that. And now, I see it also in this ad.
It's such a small world, because I know Victoria's in Canada, and Victoria, just so you know, we just all happen on these, Suzanne and I, to be in New Jersey. And again, I've been friends with Suzanne for so long, and I'm just finding this out. She kept this a secret from me. I didn't know. It took me meeting you, Victoria, from Canada, to have this webinar, to then find out that my best friend is actually using the same product. And I'm probably going way too far, but I could almost envision Victoria and Suzanne working together to expand the business, and maybe partnering up and bringing more business to Victoria. You guys work together in the States. I don't know, but definitely we'll let you guys connect. So that is super exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, it's such a small world. That's, you have to scream it from the rooftop, Susanna. Like, share it.
That's great. So I actually did have a question for you, Victoria. So one of the things that I started doing and during COVID is I invested in like a little mini facial machine, like a steamer. And so I'll give myself a facial and use a mask. So with the products that you sell, do you guys have masks that I could use during my facials that I do once a month? Because I've tried a few and either they dry me out or it's the opposite. I find my skin is like super oily afterwards. So I'd really like to try to maybe start by incorporating something during my facial routine.
Yeah, we actually have 3 different masks. So actually 4. So we have a clay mask, which I always advertise to people that depending on your state, like in Canada, being an elementary school teacher, anyone in Canada right now, we have to wear the mask all the time. So our pores are just more clogged. It's like oily, and especially with the cooler weather, it's getting so humid in this area. So we have a pink clay mask. So it basically acts as a vacuum that just sucks out the dirt, the grease, the pollution from your pores. So that is something that I recommend all the time to everyone to do twice a week. It is an intense mask, so that's why I don't ask for people to do it more. So we have that one. We have a cell renewal mask, so that helps with fine line, wrinkles, and sunspots or scarring. So it helps your cells like reproduce itself, since after the age of 25 we stop producing collagen in like naturally. So this one helps with, like I said, the sunspots or the wrinkles or the scarring. We have a one on our holiday line. It's a lavender mask. So that one's more for the relaxing, or if you like bubble baths. And the other one, it's a sheet mask. I usually have them behind me, but it comes in just like a little square sheet mask. It's super, super hydrating. So if you're someone that has dry skin, it's kind of like that hockey mask where you put on your face and it's just the eyes that you see.
Yeah.
That it's so hydrating, like you take it off and your skin's just glowing. So I recommend that more in the colder seasons as well, unless in the summer you have drier skin. But those are the different masks that we have with Arbonne.
Awesome. So I will definitely check it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is so exciting. I can't believe it's such a small world sometimes. So thank you for that. I know we're a little bit over time, so I'll wrap things up a bit, but this has been really great. I've enjoyed the discussion, and we'll definitely be reaching out for a pink clay mask. I'm excited to try that during my next facial. But overall, my closing thought here is, and I feel like I'm surrounding myself already with women who are the same mindset. But it's important that we continue to, spread the word, lift each other up. You never know. And with, on the online presence that's available, borders are not an issue. Talk to people outside of your state, outside of your country, on a different continent. You never know where you can connect, or where there's a connection already there. And it took you meeting someone from a different country to figure that out. But it's definitely important to support each other. And if you have any other questions, or again, we're going to be sharing this video. So as people are watching, here are ways to get in touch, whether it's real estate, or if you have a home and you're looking for someone to help with the closing, and I hope everyone is doing this, if you're taking the time out to do some self-care or looking to change or add to your current practices, then definitely reach out to Victoria here. But again, this has been really great. I don't know if you guys have any last thoughts, so I'll open up the floor, but thank you so much for the time, and I will look forward to doing this again.
Thank you again.
Thanks, Victoria. Thanks, Elise. You guys have a great night. It was nice chatting.
You as well. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.
Bye.